Sponsored by Deck Soap. 1. Practice social distancing. 2. Wear your mask when leaving the house. 3. Wash your hands regularly for 20 seconds using our Deck Soap. 4. Cover your nose and mouth with a disposable tissue or flex elbow when you cough or sneeze. Choose Deck Soap for that extra cleanliness. Deck Soap is affordable and available nationwide.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome once again to this Wake Up edition. Well, let's call it something else. It's a Wake Up Guyana show on Kaieteur Radio, and we want to wake you up today. It's a new week. It's a beginning of good things to come. I always like to see the glass as what, half full or half empty. Well, it depends what how you want to see it. But I always believe in being very positive, starting out every day is a new day. And so let's start today as it's a brand new day, and we get into the thick of things today, which is what is the news for today? What have you been doing? What did you do for the weekend? So we are going to start you off because there are many things that has been happening today that we want to share with you. It's starting with COVID-19 relief. A lot of people would have been hearing us. Feedback. So a lot of people would have been asking us about that COVID-19 assistance, and so this week the government says it is going to be announcing how you're going to do it, how you could be doing it online and so on. And we have some initial information here that I would want to share with you in a very short while, but it is Monday, September the 28th. And so within 2 more days, we come to the end of the third quarter of 2020. And I am looking forward to putting this year behind us. It has been a very brutal year. And so we would want to not to have a replay of this in any time to come, in any time going forward to 2021 and going forward in our years. We should never have a replay of what happened here. Not only COVID-19, but also um, we would have had this how would you describe it? 1 second, we get enough feedback here. It's, I'm still hearing something. So, in the meantime, while we get trying to get those feedback fixed there, let us get right into it. Today, several regional development regional RDCs, they would have been sworn in today. The chairperson, and there's some how you say it. There are some surprise names that we should be talking about, but let's get right into a couple of things that you guys would have been asking for, which is NIS. Many persons would have been wanting or have been complaining bitterly over the last couple of weeks about not getting through, wanting to raise issues. Well, this morning I've been trying. After a couple of weeks, I got through with the general manager of the national insurance scheme, and I spoke with her, and this is what she had to say. She says that there is a number that if you have any complaints or anything, just say that you could send her a text or you could call that number. And so I'm going to give you that number there. There's somebody who is taking complaints, and they're very closely related in terms of the general manager is looking after from her office directly. So this is very good news because you would have had several complaints over the last couple of weeks over this issue here. And okay, so we are going to make some slight changes here. There's some technical issues that we're having here. No big beef about that. But there's a number here, 6400 639, and this is for NIS 6400 639 6400 639 NIS. So I'm going to stop here and say welcome to all who have joined us today, wherever you have been joining us from, whether it's in Berbice, whether it's in Esquimalt, whether it's in Demerara. So wherever you are joining us from. Uh, let's just fix that. Good. That's good. 1 second. Okay, that was it. Okay, good. So we've got that fixed there now. So it is the Wake Up Guyana show on Kaieteur Radio, 99.1, 99.5 here, and we're coming to you live on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio. You could also get us live on YouTube, Kaieteur Radio live stream. So in the meantime, you've been asking us about that NIS number, which you could probably call and complain. You had many complaints. 6400 639. The general manager says that she's willing to hear these complaints, and they're trying to work with all the numbers of complaints, several. And so they're willing to take that because I complain too that, the people are complaining and they seem to be having no kind of relief. In the meantime, the government would have said over the weekend that they are going to launch the $25,000 cash assistance. And I'm going to read to you what they say here, and then I'm going to come back and give you some more information with regards to that. And this is what the government said on Saturday. The government of Guyana has announced that they are going to launch it this week. So Region 1 and Region 9 has reportedly started receiving. We are going to wait to get some more details on that with regards to what kind of methods and mechanisms that are being used. Of course, we're paying close attention because many persons were a little worried that they're going to want two houses. The president has made it very clear that it is to every household. So if there's three husbands and three wives in one house, that is three different households as we understand what the definition of that is. So I'm your host, Leonard Gildarie, and so welcome to the show, the Wake Up Guyana show, where we get you up and running about things that affect you in this beautiful land of ours, this 83,000 square miles. And so I want to say a good day to the good folks down in Blackbush Polder. One of them called me this morning, and he said he's tuned in. The Yakasari market there, they tuned in all the vendors and everybody. In Region 10, it is Deron Adams, Region 10, Deron Adams. And so he is the new chairman up in Region 10. David Armagon has gone back to Region 6. It seems as if they like him there. And so he has been, he's gone back there as the chairperson. In Region 7, Kenneth Williams is a new chair there. Region 7, Kenneth Williams. There's a surprise for Region 4 here. This is a former Army Captain Daniel Seram, and he was a candidate for the coalition in the recent elections here, the trouble elections. He is going to be the chair for Region 4. Region 4 there, that's Captain Daniel Seram. I think Captain retired now. I'm not sure whether he could hold the two posts. Brian Allicock. Seems as if the folks like him there in Region 9. Region 9 is the area that the Rupununi and so on that borders with Brazil there. And he's gone back there. This is Brian Allicock. And so that is it in terms of what we have so far. There's a couple of regions I think that is missing here. We are going to wait some details, but I know we're missing Region 3. We're missing Region, I think 5. So we're going to wait on that at the moment. We did receive some call this morning from some goldsmith, and then I'm going to tell you a little about EPA in a very short while, what folks are saying about the EPA. But before that, we would want to get straight into what our favorite newspaper, our largest selling newspaper in this land, which brings you the news as is, without any icing on the cake. How you get it, that's how you're reading it. And so that has been the hallmarks of the Kaieteur News, Guyana's largest selling daily newspaper in this land of ours. So yesterday's newspaper, which is September the 27th, very quickly, PPPC, APNO FC have stained Guyana's infant oil industry with all the hallmarks of corruption. And so this is on the top of it, and there's on the front page they clear the entire newspaper here because they're concentrating on oil here. Former Nigerian petroleum minister diverted $6 billion oil money to her personal account. It says in Guyana here, who's a $7 billion plus man And this is an interesting story. And if you look at the story here, they're saying that what the Kaieteur and the Kanji block, which is two blocks that is right next to the Starbuck block, which is being developed at the moment by Exxon, that it has almost 7 billion barrel of oil, almost the equivalent, just a little below what we would have heard from the Starbuck block. And if you look at that and look at who's owning the Kanji and and the Kaieteur block, or the questions over who really owns it, there's a picture there which shows an anonymous person. Who's this person that owns these two blocks? Because there's some questions. That's what the story is saying here, and a very, very pertinent thing, because when you would have looked, there's an important story in Kaieteur News, and if you missed it yesterday, it would have looked at the 12 benchmarks in which countries could know if they're going wrong. And this is according to the international experts. And Kaieteur News Analysis, a very good piece there by Kemal King, one of our up-and-coming reporter who's done a wonderful job here. He has basically said that Guyana's ticked all the boxes when it comes to sending the red flags, with regards to corruption, pointing to corruption. So this is a very, very important story. And in the newspaper too, you should miss it. There was a lot of news in paper yesterday, and they're talking about this. And there's one here that Guyana has now received international accreditation. This is the Guyana Bureau of Standards. The Food and Drugs department there, and they have gotten international certification now. So the pressure is on Guyana now to make sure it doesn't allow anything to slip into the country that does not meet the requirements or the necessary benchmarks or pass the safety standards here. So that is something that we'd have to look at, because not any and all thing could come into Guyana right now. There's the Etherinbang airstrip that's down right now, so you guys be very careful up in the skies. So also know that Barbies Man 36 among two COVID-19 casualties. This is over the weekend. Should pay attention to that, because I'm going to read to you in a very short while. What is it that the statistics are saying with regards to COVID-19? In the meantime, we've been receiving plenty news of people just partying, people having backyard parties without masks and everything. You would see over the weekend the police stopped a funeral from or continuing, or with the people being there. They chased them out, and I think they warned them. A couple of people were arrested. A lot of people, the private sectors already signed a deal in which the court zero certificates for employment. This is a very good initiative here by the ministry. I like it. This is something that I'm excited about. You would recall that not a lot of persons could have gone to classes to continue their education, and even reporters have been getting into it. So there's some free classes that is being attached to some of the universities abroad. And so you could do it free of cost, thanks to the ministry that's been offered as part of the pandemic measures. And a lot of people are getting into it. So there's a very feel-good kind of stories here. Triangle love affair suspect captured in Coventry Bagdam. He would have shot the man that he believed was having a relationship with his wife. Went and hid. He was also being questioned into the death of the two boys. This is a big story here now. I think the president would have toured the Nandi Park area over the weekend. They've abandoned the Houston area there for the new harbor bridge, and they're saying that because I think there would have been some logistical and other issues there at the Houston, and what they decided that we are going to go to Nandi Park. There's a whole area there with the Lagrange area. It's going to see some movement. So there's a bridge. There's a trench that separates Petersall from Providence, and that is right next door on the northern side of the hotel there. That is the Ramada Hotel, the Princess Casino area there. And so it's the northern side that they are hoping to put the bridge in. So he would have walked there. The president, a couple of his ministers, including Juan Edgel, Leonard in there, and several engineers to look at the area because they want to move on this very quickly. I think the president would have really felt it because he lives across the river there, and he understands, I think, more than anybody, what is it that the people of Guyana should be feeling with regards to crossing the bridge on a daily basis, the frustration, the wear and tear on vehicles. And of course, the ministry would have warned nurses, medical staffers against protests for risk allowance and other benefits. The reason why they have been protesting is because they want benefits, but the ministry says you can't do that. You're putting people's lives in danger. There's an interesting ad here in Kaieteur yesterday too. Very quickly, the AGM, which has been that is the gold company, Guyana's biggest gold company, being taken over by Chinese. They have put out an ad here for welders, drill, and a whole bunch of other people, barge captains, security officers, and HVAC technicians, and so on. So if you're looking for a job, maybe you could try a luck there if you're totally without. So I think we could close off here, but very important, if you're missing it, there's a story, two stories here I should pay attention to, we should pay attention to. Toddler dies after drinking Molly. This is meth. This is known in the international market as meth, and it's known locally here as Molly. It's a drug that is manufactured in a lab, and a little child found it, or he drank some milk, and it was later determined that the milk had Molly. A family says of the little boy, I think two, would have said that somebody had mixed it, they were about to drink, and he left it on the table, and this little boy picked it up. This is very sad. Then there's another one. Pirates went to steal. Looks like the Venezuelan pirates, according to based on the story that we've seen here. They're hungry. They're going through a lot there, and so they would have gone onto the fisherman's boat, and they said they're here to steal. The fishermen would have cooked them lunch and dinner, but the pirates still stole the stuff that belongs to the fishermen, and they told them, we're going hungry and we need to do that. Police arrest GCOM's chief, Keith Lowenfield, in ongoing election fraud probe. We understand that there may be more charges coming for Keith Lowenfield. He would have already been slapped with charges. So that is our Sunday's newspaper in a recap there very, very quickly. And so we come to our Sunday newspaper before we go and we discuss a couple of things, and then we open our lines so we can hear from you. So September the 20th, 2020, 4%, and this is our edition of Kaieteur News. This is today's newspaper. 4% additional fund will get more value for CGI than 150 million already spent. This is Juan Edgel. So this story here about what is happening there at the Chedijagan International Airport. It has been worrying a lot of people because a lot of money. It's 150 million. It's a largest infrastructure project on land right now. Even the oil, which has seen a number of investments, has not seen this much. So we should be worried because we have to pay back a loan for that. And there seems to be some kind of story that's going on there. Not sure what happened. Approval for Payaro. PPPC government doing its utmost to keep Guyana a banana republic. And there's a country which has no self-respect and accept crumbs for its crown jewels. This is Jan Mangal, former presidential advisor. Guyana to get additional funding for COVID-19 from the Global Fund. Youth population mostly affected by 42% in road deaths. President Ali says conditions of frontline workers being exploited. Bandits abandon motorcycle after shooting businessman in the neck. Government awards a contract for permanent workers at Maikoni Sea Defense. There's a troubled project here, and we keep seeing stories about that. More oversight needed for oil companies, suppliers due to the high incidence of corruption there. So there is the front page comment again. Kaieteur News has been really coming out and making sure that it hits the issue. That $10.5 million rented tent, and that is a stinking story. If you are going to be renting, paying the man or whoever it is $10 million for a tent, when you could buy it for $300,000, then something is wrong with our system that we're not paying attention, that somebody is getting, somebody is doing something, they're not getting value for the money. So we are going to be talking about that in a very short while. I would love to hear for you when we open our lines here at Kaieteur Radio here on the Wake Up Guyana show, that you could be able to tell us a little bit what you think about spending $10 million, when what $10 million could do, one, and why should we have spent $10 million when we could have bought one or two or three or several tens so that we could have been able to use. Somebody's not thinking. So it is the Wake Up Guyana show. I'm your host, Leonard Gildarie, coming to you live from the Saffron Street studio here. And we are on 99.1, which is coming to you in Demerara and Esquibo, and also 99.5 up in Berbice. So in a very short while, we are going to tell you a couple of things. Let me tell you that Donald Trump is only paying $750 in taxes. This is US dollars. This is about what? 750 is about 150,000 Guyana dollars. And he owns some mad, how you say it, real estate down in America and all over the world. And that is what the taxes that they say that he paid. He's been making lots of losses, according to the reports. While, they're hauling him through the courts, through the coals at the moment, because elections in a couple of weeks' time, and he's fighting tooth and nail to hold on to a second term. And so that's where it is. In the meantime, let me tell you that I did receive some complaints this morning. Persons are calling for the EPA and the NDCs to do their job within communities. This is when it comes to noise, nuisance. This is a growing problem. People playing music like crazy. People doing things, and without, it is the pandemic at the moment, and people are home, and they need to have some kind of a peace, because when you've lost a job or you're forced to work at home, there are things that is going to be affecting you. One of the last things that you would want is to have a neighbor that is plugging you with noise day in, day out, from morning when you wake up till in the evening. And when you tell them, they says, well, you can't do me anything. When the police come, they turn it down. When the police gone, they turn it up. When the EPA comes, when the NDC comes, it seems as if everybody is friends. So I was told, especially in the Nonpareil area there, I think Dr. Carter Street, I think it is, there's some big people that is going to or are abusing the little privileges as citizens that we have in this country here. So let's be a little, what's so difficult that you would play music? Play music for yourself. Play music that, you can listen to. What is the big need to raise it up to such volumes that your neighbor can't sleep, even if they might not want to listen to your music, because that's not their type of music. In the meantime, let me tell you here, a better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo cover with us today. CARICOM General Insurance Company Inc. at 121 Regent and Arnock Street. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. CARICOM General Insurance Company Inc. So this morning also, before we go to the lines and we open it and we start talking to the good people of Guyana, I am going to tell you that I did receive a call from some goldsmith this morning up in Berbice, and they complaining bitterly of not getting or not being able to buy gold. As you could recall, gold prices have touched over $1,900 right now in the world market. So everybody wants to take it out of this country. The goldsmith, I think I was told that there's several hundreds of them up in the Berbice region 6, region 5 area there that are not getting gold to buy, and so it says affecting their business, affecting the quality that they would want to give out. So we are going to be looking at this case in a very short while, and I want you to know that the folks down in the Rose Hall, the Port Morant area, in the Blackbush area there, that we are looking at that from a culture news perspective down here. That is something that we should pay attention to. So it is the Wake Up Guyana show. I'm your host, Leonard Gildarie, and we are going to be opening up the lines in a very short while. What we should tell you here, that the budget has been passed, and so you have seen already in the system, money is flowing, it seems. There are ads in the newspaper advertising for works. There are going to be some payments being made within the next couple of weeks and next couple of months to various categories of families. And so let's hope that with some projects and so that is happening, that we could start seeing something happening to this economy. The good thing about it is that all the international institutions say that Guyana would be one of the, or Guyana is going to recover pretty fast because of the oil business that is happening, the oil and gas developments here, compared to a couple of other Caribbean nations and even farther afield. You look internationally, Guyana seems to be in a better position to recover because of the oil. The faster that we get our housing industry up and running with those spin-off, those knock-on effects from not only the transportation but building materials, contractors getting a job, and a whole bunch of other stuff. The legal fees, the banks doing business, and so on. It's going to have some spin-offs. So the Minister of Housing there, Mr. Colin Crowell, and his other minister, Susan Rodriguez, got their work cut out for them. So has other ministers. I want to say good day to all our good ministers here within the cabinet, and of course to our opposition as well. We hope that you understand, everybody, we have a role to play in the National Assembly and within the various parliamentary committees, that you should be doing your job. You have to represent the people. You represent 217,000 persons at the moment, so you have to represent them in a very crucial manner in those different organizations that you're part of. So it is 6222222. I'm gonna have to ask my boy Raj, how you doing? You had a good weekend? Raj seems, Raj, you seem mashed up. Were you drinking? Were you partying all weekend? No, he says no. He says no. So I'm going to tell you it's 6222222. I want to see those messages coming through to us, and it's 226-7453. 226-7453. Let us start getting those numbers calling us at the moment. In the meantime, I am going to get up for you and read to you what are some of the things that they say that you could start, how you could start applying if you have already not applied for your COVID-19, for your COVID-19 assistance here. So 226-7453, and of course you could send us those texts to 6222222. I want to tell you this week we are going to have in the house Poonam Singh. This weekend she and several other artists would have lit up the concert that would have been held by government, the virtual concert that was there, and it's a pleasure listening to our young people, to our artists, doing the thing, representing Guyana, giving their little thing. I think it's over, according to the ministry, I think there was over 50,000 persons plus were viewing it, and of course with the shared videos and so on. So Poonam Singh has agreed that he is going to be in with us maybe a little later this week. I'm hoping to bring back Jackie Jacks as well, because she's been such a pleasure singing that Guyana song. I think Poonam is Guyana, that beautiful song. I don't know how to pronounce it, but she has a way of putting it out with her very melodious voice. And so she's going to come a little later this week and keep her company here, sing us a few songs, tell us what she's doing. It's always a pleasure talking to her. Do we have a caller online here? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're here.
Hey, good day.
Yes, good day. How are you doing?
Not bad, sir. How are you?
Pretty good, man. You go ahead. You tell me.
Hi, good afternoon, sir. And good afternoon, Guyana.
Yes.
Not bad. I heard about sometime last week on your program where somebody was calling how they want to buy license. The license. You hear me, sir?
Yes, I'm listening.
He said he was out of the country and he wanted to buy his license, and you had promised to make contact with
Yes,
GR.
I did try to call because I have some unresolved issues there.
Right.
Yes.
I have an issue with GRA over 4 years now. I can't see nobody. I can't see the commissioner. I can't see the deputy commissioner. So I don't know if you can help me to get in contact with them. If I brought in a bus and they take it. They take it.
Mm-hmm.
I paid duty and everything and they take it.
Why did they take it?
Well, I am asking myself the same question. I'm trying to get somebody to talk, and to this day, after 4 years, I can't get nobody to talk to.
When they took it, did they have an explanation why they took it?
That is what I'm trying to find out. What is it?
Um, mhm. You call me
Yeah,
after the show here. Let me get some details, and maybe I could
please.
probably
I have
give
all
you a call.
documents, a paid duty,
Uh-huh.
a pay warrant of entry, everything.
Um,
So
there
I'm glad if
is
you can try
there is
to
a
get
lady
someone.
there. There's a lady there, and maybe you could probably give her a call. Call me after the show here. Maybe I could point you,
This
and
same number?
maybe you could talk to the legal folks on there. They could probably tell to you. So
This
nobody has
same number?
spoken to you.
No, they wrote me a letter and tell me, they wrote me a letter about maybe like 2, 3 months ago
Uh huh.
and tell me that I must come back for the duty money and they can't do nothing with it.
I don't understand that.
I
You and I
myself
would
don't know.
have a chat with that, and maybe
Yes,
we could
I
exchange
mean,
them and have a look
it's
at the
time.
letter.
Yeah, it's time that I can, I want to spin it up because I mean, how much more can I try to see somebody to get an explanation? I don't
Right, right, right. All right. You call me afterwards, 2258491,
know. Okay.
and let's see how it goes from there. All
All
right.
right, fine. Good. Good. Thanks.
God bless you. Bye bye. So, in the meantime, all those persons who've been talking about the NIS, there's a number that was provided by the general manager of NIS to me this morning, and you guys could call that or text to that number. Somebody's always answering it, she says. If you're not getting through right away, just try again because that number is receiving a lot of calls. 6400 639, 6400 639, or 6400 639, the NIS, so you can make your complaints there, tell them what is bothering you, or what has been the matter with your application for pension, or whatever it is that has happened that you want to raise with them, that they could probably look back at you. Because I told them that I'm unable to answer some of the questions that has been raised. I don't have access to NIS database or information there, so it's impossible for me to basically get on to you guys. So that's a good way. I think it's a start to solving some of the issues there that you would have been complaining about. In the meantime, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Okay, good. So they have here, if you've already submitted an application form for the COVID-19 public assistance, please do not fill out this form. If you wish to make changes to your application details, please contact the Civil Defense Commission. This is for the COVID-19 relief. I think this is hampers. I don't think this has to do, let me see, this is voucher application. If you believe that you're eligible for a voucher application, for a voucher, you could call, if you haven't already filled out the application form, you could call the CDC 226 1027, 226 1027, and they could be able to give it to you. If not, you could, I think I'm going to see whether I could share this with you, but there is a online way that we could probably do this, and I'm trying to see where I could send to you. Okay, but you call the CDC 226 1027 there, and let them give you that number, or give you the necessary information as to how you could apply for the voucher assistance program, and get a voucher that has to do with probably food stuff and so on. This is separate from the 25,000 that we've been talking about, and that 25,000, that would be announced in a very short while. The government has says this week they are going to unveil it and talk about how they are going to give it to the people across Guyana. Let's say that you can't make it to go collect the money. Is the money going to come to you? So those are the couple of things that we are going to be looking at in a very short while. So we go back to the lines. Do we have another call there, Raj? Let me see some of the messages that's been coming out here. Good afternoon, Leonard. Keep up the good work. My question is, why is this current government placing the opposition members in key roles with all the issues after the elections? How can they do? Personally, I think this is a disaster waiting to happen. In a year, no one will blame the past administration, but the current one. Are there not enough qualified persons in this current administration to take up these roles? Every day there's a new article how corrupted the last administration is. I'm not sure what kind of appointments or in the key roles you're talking about. If it is that you're talking about the RDCs, the regional democratic councils within the 10 districts in Guyana there, Those are related to the elections that was held early this year. Remember, there's two is general and regional elections, so those people are being sworn in the moment. So that has nothing to do with government putting people in place. That has to do with the electoral process. That's the democratic process. Now, there's some other bodies that you may be talking about, that all the boards and everything, that you could or their spaces are supposed to be spaces for the opposition folks within those areas. But I'm not sure what areas that this person is talking about. That's my explanation to you. Um, Good afternoon. Somebody says good afternoon. Good afternoon to you too. Today, a blessed good afternoon to Leonard Gildarie. We have an internet problems in my village here. Coven John, normal thing with GT&T. We need to have a next network urgently. And this is coming from Ms. Asma Bacchus there in Coven John. A good day to you, Ms. Asma Bacchus. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. Good afternoon. I agree with you. I don't even want to talk about GT&T today. I'm going to keep the peace and behave myself. Dear Mr. Leonard, we are trying to get in contact with you directly to get a tablet for the poor kids and school supply. Um, hmm. Okay, let me take this number. Somebody wants to make a donation here. I think it is. Do we have another caller in the line in the meantime, Raj? So it is 2267453, 2267453. Let me hear from you guys. You guys have been calling us on a daily basis saying we can't get through, so the lines are open right now, 2267453. Send us those texts also to 62222. Let us hear that you get it. Please send the link for the application. I am going to send it to you guys. Okay. Probably, I'm not sure. Let me see how we can do that here. So somebody, if you guys could probably have us here, if there's any way that you could share it to the people who tuned in on this program here, we'd very much oblige for that. So it is the Wake Up Guyana show, and I think we have a caller online. Yes, good afternoon, caller, you on the air.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm calling from Diamond Youth Scheme.
Diamond News Scheme, yes.
Yes. I can make it to go to the NIS to collect my my book because I'm sick with dengue fever and the doctor stopped me not to go anywhere because I could get the virus.
Yes.
So I don't know if my daughter can collect the
You'd have to authorize the daughter. Did you?
She can get it.
Yes, if you authorize the daughter, I think. But what you could do is call this number is 6400 639
6400.
639.
Okay, because the doctor warned me not to leave home and go
Yeah,
anywhere.
you should not travel.
I get the dengue fever so high I had to get saline. 2 times I had to rush to the hospital last week.
I had dengue a couple of years back. I went up the flood waters up in Region 10, and it's a bad thing. You get it. Up to now, I can't. Anything that pass, I catch it right now.
Yeah, because the doctor tell me went to Woodlands, me had to get injection, tablet, and then they give me saline because my body gets so weak.
Yeah.
I lie down on the sofa, can't hardly do anything for myself.
Yes, it leaves you weak. I ended up in the hospital for a couple of days too, and it's not something I want to go back to.
Yeah,
I hope that you get better.
Fever, a couple of years now we're getting it, and this thing now, yeah, eats for time and it's raising back again.
I hear you. So you call 6400 639, and they're going to tell you how you could...
6400?
639.
Okay.
And that the person is going to tell you how you could apply, or how you could authorize your daughter to pick it up for you.
Okay, because she working at Princess, so she normally just go to NIS.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, no, I tried to get through just some of the food stamp, but the voucher, but me not get through when me call the phone rang out.
226 1027?
Yes, it rang out. Somebody gave hello and said dial 0. When me dial them, the phone, nobody didn't answer it.
I'm going to have to talk to Kessa correctly because this is the one I don't know. That's a number that they have up. This is a number, and they didn't send out this. This is something that I got from elsewhere that somebody sent to me. So I'm just sharing how I get these information. I would share it to you guys. All right?
Okay, because I live in 18th Street, Diamond.
All right, I'm familiar with that area. Thank you very much.
Okay then.
God bless. Bye-bye. So, okay. In the meantime, let me see what this lady here is saying. Hi, Leonard. Good afternoon. Pleasure listening to you. Doing wonderful work. I'd like you to address the squatting between success and rights lost at the cane field. It's getting out of hand. Please shine some light here. But squatting is not a good thing because when you have people just living anyhow, I know that there's more than 50,000 applications for housing or turnkey homes in the files at the Central Housing and Planning. Squatting is not something that you would want because when you put people in place, it's not demarcated. People just pick up spots. So if you got to build streets, you got to put down telephones. If you got to cater for those modern schemes and so on, the area is not the thing. So you could have problems now that everybody does build in places that might not necessarily be a housing area. There's a couple of things that needs to go there. You have to plan it. You have to they have to decide where to put a police station, where to put a health center, maybe. A couple of things that you would have to do before you even talk about having a housing scheme. And so when people squatting, it's a big thing. But however, people have needs, but you can't do squatting. It's lawless. There's a couple of things. I understand up the East Coast there, it's a big issue. The person would have to desist from doing that, or else they could very well wake up 20 years from now and then see that the areas can be developed in the way that they wanted to develop. And key services like garbage collection and so can't happen because the trucks can't pass through the street. There's no space for the street. All kind of problems that you're going to have. So you're going to have health issues too because the area can be drained properly. You're talking there before you could even get telephone and telephone services. The area has to be regularized. Nobody is going to give that to you. So there's a whole bunch of problems here. I'm going to try to find out between rights loss, and this is in Canefield, that is there. I think it's Gaisuku lands that people are squatting, I understand. So let's see what is happening. Do we have another caller in line? Yes, caller, good afternoon, you're on the air.
Good afternoon. I want to make a complaint
Sure.
at Good Hope Mahaika at the Silane Dam.
Good Hope Mahaika, yes. We call it sideline dam?
Silane Dam, yes.
Yes.
The people that get the contract for clean the trench, they put the men in to clean the trench. And, hello?
Yes, go right ahead.
They come and clean the trenches then. Nobody come afterward and check or pass whatever the workman them done. They come and they just clean the middle of the trench.
Who is the contractor there? Do you see any names on
No names. Just the men them come and clean the trench.
They're still cleaning it?
And they clean it about 3 weeks back.
Could you find out from your NDC? Because if you could find out from your NDC, you could make a complaint. The president has made it very clear with the other folks, I think even Minister Juan Edgel, that the NDC and everybody is supposed to know who's coming into the area to do works, and therefore they could be able to hold those persons responsible.
Okay, I'm going to do that because they just come and send the workman. Nobody come and pass it, which is supposed to come and pass the work.
No, we can't have that happen and start raising those issues.
I'm going to go to the NDC. Thank you very much.
And tell them that you spoke with us and that I would love to hear what comes out of that, because in this day and age, when we've been talking about these things for years, we should not be seeing a replay of it. It can't happen. It just can't happen.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye. So this is something that's very, very important. I think the authorities, even the government officials, would have been saying that when people working in the area, they have to get some kind of permission there. Nobody could walk into a jurisdiction and just start working like that. They have to inform the necessary authorities, like the NDCs and so on. So the NDC is somewhere that whenever you see things like contractors doing madness on the road, or they're working, you could pick up the phone and you could call. You could call somebody and you could complain. In fact, take pictures, post it on Facebook and on social media and so on. And you're going to see how fast people are going to wake up, because when the money of the people are being spent, you have a right to ask that. That's your right. It's like the government. If the government is doing something that you don't like, you have a right to write to the newspaper, to complain to the ministers, to even call the president and say this is what you need to look into. That's your right. But we know that the president is a very busy man, but I think you have the idea what I'm talking about. In the meantime, dear, let's see some other messages. Good afternoon, Leonard. How are you doing? I would like to get a voucher. Things are very hard with me and my husband now working. Can't be able to make anything meet. To meet bills that we have to pay. No help from anyone. Could you please send me the application form so we could fill it out? What I could do for you is maybe. All right. So this person here has asked for. Let me see. I think I'm gonna send it. I think that's what I have. Yep, send it to that person. So we try and hear it as much as possible. I want to say good day to Mr. Audie Hendricks, and he's no other than the proprietor of Game Express there. Mr. Hendricks, if you don't know, has been one of Guyana's really, really good persons, have been so helpful to a lot of Guyanese throughout this thing. I know that he's not a man who likes to be in the spotlight, but sometimes we have to do it so we can understand who is some of the people behind the scenes. Mr. Hendricks has been somebody who has really been a good man for the people of Guyana. Unless you give me permission, I wouldn't be able to tell you some of the things that he's done. But he's always been there, and he's always reaching out and doing things very, very quietly behind the scenes. So I want to say good day to Mr. Henriks, and if you want some stuff, you in terms of good party stuff there, Game Express is a place that you may want to pick it up, and has some very good staffers there. Good day to Rishma and the rest of the good people there. And so in the meantime, I want to say welcome to the Wake Up Guyana show. If you've now joined us, I'm your host Leonard Gildarie, and we're coming from you live from the Saffron Street area, also on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. You could also get us on 99.1 in Demerara and Esquivel and 99.5 in Berbice. So I want to say good day to all who've joined us. And of course, if you join us from overseas, it is Aram Singh, Pearlie Lalbachan, Ann Barkley, Karen Smith, Bibi Shabir Hussein, everybody who's been with us day in, day out, and they're not leaving us because they're here with the number one radio right across this country of ours. And we've been trying to bring you the news, and the news as it is. We don't believe in give you any fluff or writing it in fancy language. How we get it, that's how we're going to give it to you. Good afternoon to Len Gildarie. We have a serious problem in Rumzek. This is on the west coast of Demerara in the community. The former CDC group pick their own people and don't have to inform anybody. Please, somebody help. I'm not sure how this is happening, whether this has anything to do with COVID-19, but the president says every house. Let's don't get too panicky. This week they're supposed to make some announcements. And so when they make the announcement, they can tell you how to get it. And I think at that point in time, we could cost them how much we want about this whole system. But the president says every household. So let's go with that. I believe in what the president says. Good day, everybody. I tried to submit the online form. It's given an error. It seems that that happens all the time. I'm going to have to talk to Kester Craig today again about this. So before we go back to the calls, I think there's a couple of people who are sending us here too. Hi, Leonard. Good day to you. I want to commend the Ministry of Culture for promoting a wonderful virtual concert over the weekend. We are one Guyana concert on several social media last Saturday evening. It was very entertaining, rich with local talents and diversity. It was most welcome in the pandemic. I hope it is a force of many more to come. The good folks of Good Hope Mahaika continue to enjoy your show. I want to say good day to the people down in Mahaika there. I want to say good day also to the Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports, Mr. Charles Ramson Jr. And I know that I did see parts of that show over the weekend, and like I said before, I like the energy that was coming from several of our young artists. Lots of energy there, and I can't remember all you guys' names, but you did Guyana proud, and I'm very happy that we have some talent in our country here that we could probably be able to spend some money in a couple of years from now, give them the protection when it comes to copyrights and other issues, and their rights as artists to protect their things. And let's try to give them some more benefits. They're a dying breed because of the whole internet and everything has made music at their fingertip. A lot of people pirating stuff and stealing stuff and so on, and without giving credit to these wonderful artists. So I want to say good day to you. You have made us proud over the weekend, the virtual concert that is, and like that person said, I hope that they would have some more very quickly too. Good afternoon, Leonard. About this $25,000 assistance, do you have to go and register for this? Because I heard people are visiting house to house, putting down names. Haven't seen anyone. I haven't heard anyone else. My husband is a diabetic person. He does weed and work, and presently there's a thing that was he cannot work. He's lost two toes just being a diabetic. I welcome the assistance. Well, I did indicate to you that you could call the 226. I think it's 1097. It is. Yes, 226-1027. And if you don't get through with that, I got to talk to Mr. Kester Craig again, and let us see what other alternative that they have. But they have right now on this, what has been advertised is that the CDC is looking after this at the moment, and this is with regards to the COVID-19 relief. This has nothing to do with the $25,000. There's a separate thing that they're doing here. So go back again. Let's see some other messages that's been coming through. Hi, sir. I'm very disappointed in the security company, in our security company, Sentinel Security. It's a waste until a day like today. No pay for the security worker. This is really stressing. The company need the relevant authority to look into this matter. It's very important. Sentinel Security Service. What's happening there, my friends? The people complaining several months. You need to tell them something. Um, Sentinel. I'll try them back again today. Let's see what happens here. Did hear you there? Before we go back to the line, good afternoon. The radio station not working properly in Rosignol. I would like to know the link to not working in Berbice. Raj, could you check it out? The radio station Berbice in the Rosignol area not working. I'd like to know the link to fill up the COVID-19. I'm not finding it online. Thank you very much. This is so okay. I'm going to send that to this person. In the meantime, do we have another caller on here? Caller, good afternoon. Yes, caller, good afternoon. You're on the air. We've lost that caller there. So in the meantime, let's see some other messages that has been coming out. I want to say good day to the folks on in Grove area there. How you doing? I hope that you're keeping safe and that you're protecting yourself in the Grove Diamond, Golden Grove. All the students who are in school at the moment, those are not. I understand that this is something I'm going to try to get Priya Manichan. I did speak to her last week, the Minister of Education, and so she says that she's willing to come on board. I said, you and I have a date this week here. So she says, yes, Leonard, I'm coming on. I was so busy, as we all know, in the National Assembly for the passage of that emergency budget. Dear sir, the Green Hoop selling area has a bus park, several car parks, barbershops, bars, and snackets on a daily basis. The garbage produced by these entities are disposed of into the river. Could the EPA and NDC look into it? Well, we have a bunch of nasty people in Guyana here. We just keep, we just keep doing all the nonsense that we can to destroy our lands, dumping our garbage in our beautiful Damara River, the river that, that is so important to our commerce and everything else and transportation. A better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered with us today. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regenton Arnock Street. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. Do we have another caller online? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're here.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you
I'm
doing?
calling from New Amsterdam. What happened to Gildarie's program?
This Gildarie's program, I'm not sure. Is our radio not working up there?
That's right.
Maybe, did you have blackout or something?
No, man. We got full quarantine, but we didn't catch your station.
No. We're gonna think it may be something that kicked it off because we have a separate thing. There's our antenna is up there, and so we have to depend. So I'm going to make sure that we have our boys. I think I was told by the good Raj here that they're looking at it at the moment. So they're looking at it.
I said, let me call to find what happened to you, man.
No, no, we on here. I'm really sorry that you're not getting us. We're going to try to fix it. I thank you very much for calling.
So I'm on the air presently.
Yes, you are on the air. You like the program?
Huh?
You like the program?
Man, I'm a regular caller, man.
Oh,
And
very
like
good.
it's only me and an old man up on this call.
No, we got
Because
a lot. Everybody calling and says, they got a lady from 58. She says, out of all places, why didn't you remember 58? And I'm trying to figure out, how do I remember 58 out of all the villages? But I got
If I didn't like the program, I might not call. Because I call me hearing it, I wonder what happened. Because the security system and the people, we had a shower rain body. People got to work so hard for the money. And then they got at this bank here, Citizens Bank, the rain come like, oh, it is so cruel looking, man. It's cruel looking. You got to work so hard for your money, then you got to take all the rain for your money again.
No, it is bad, yes. And yeah, what you would have heard there last week, I was looking at it.
Yes, I listened to you towards on Friday what the big man was talking about over West Bank or somewhere.
No, these are people, because they remember the working and what they're doing, they're bringing on. And I want to make it very clear. I don't have an issue who's coming into the country. So what I got an issue with is us not regularizing this or using our powers that we have to ensure that everybody is in a register or something. You must know from security reason.
We have a new security service named Gupta. They're from Kanji. Oh, they're taking advantage from people, man. Advantage. But anyhow, the last springtime we had, people who live in Essequibo, Borbis and Demerara needs to hold their head and look after those sluices, or cocos, they might call it, because some of them dilapidated and all kind of thing. Barnacle eat them out, like what happened at Diamond. These sluices need to be looked after. You have Turani Canal. I'd be grateful if the agriculture minister, when he comes again to Borbis, he was here last weekend, let him take a good view at Turani Canal. There's where the water comes from the Borbis River, going into that creek and feeding up to the Riverton area.
All right, I hear what you're saying there, and I would have seen the when springtide. I saw one time, I think I was in the iFlot area there, and I saw what springtide did to our seawall there. It's unbelievable. If you've never seen it, it's a frightening sight. Imagine Mother Nature, that seawall being bombarded by the waves, and it can't take it, it can't take it. It's something frightening, and it's getting worse every single year.
One thing more. Our Borbis River Bridge, I think you said the last day was up here was at Portland Market. Now, when that bridge closed to vehicle traffic, it opens out to mooring section. My brother, when that bridge closed and opened there, any emergency, we cannot cross because the bridge. If you go to New Amsterdam, you're going to see the two water taxi on the wharf. Not in the water, on the wharf.
So they're not using it anymore?
I don't know, something wrong. It's on the wharf. Not in the water.
At
what
New
I'm
Amsterdam
saying,
there. Okay.
when that bridge opens, as I told you just now, there's no other source for you to cross the river. A cyclist buried yesterday. They bought a bit while carrying him to Georgetown. They couldn't cross because the bridge was open. We got no source crossing emergency-wise. No source.
And that is one problem. And I think even those protests in West Belize, they just shown how at the mercies of one road, one of everything that we have.
Oh boy.
How much of a problem that we have there. This is why I think the government is hustling to do that bridge and that 4-lane bypass from the East Bank to the East Coast. That's something that's really needed, and we need another harbor bridge.
That's right.
I'm scared. If every day I pray to God that we don't break down on that Demerara bridge, because if that happens, that is catastrophe right there. It's keeping up, but we have to deal with it for another 4 or 5 years more until we have that bridge across the Demerara River.
My brother, it's nice talking with you, but let's remember the prisoners are human beings, and those people I don't know if you ever had a look how a prisoner in their stay, because there's space. You can't find space in the prison only for one man in a cell. You can't get a space there, so the sick must be increased. Thanks for listening, man.
God bless you. Bye-bye. Until. So good day to the folks down there in East Belize as well as West Belize. Wherever you are, stay safe. All the taxi drivers, all the minibus drivers, all the high car drivers, and you don't have to be a driver, you could be a passenger as well. Make sure that you protect yourself. I want to say good day to you. Stay safe, stay positive. Our country is on the rise. At least we have to be very positive about that, and we have to encourage each other. We are a good people, we are strong people. We put up with so much in the past. We just did something that was remarkable. We withstood the horrors of 5 months. We withstood the horrors of 5 months plus the pandemic. So that makes us a very special person. While the world was battling with pandemic, we were battling with 5 months of elections, almost to the day, with when a new president was sworn in, and we could move this country forward. It does not matter to me which president is in place. What matters to me is that the rule of law as the one that is important, that's paramount for this beautiful country of ours. So it's the Wake Up Guyana show. I'm your host, Leonard Gildarie. We're coming to you live from the studio here at Kaieteur Radio on Saffron Street. And we're coming to you on 99.1. I understand that up in Berbice, our radio 99.5, that they're getting some technical issues there, and we are going to be working as quickly as we can to bring it up and think. That is my instructions, I've been told. In the meantime, we go back straight into the lines. Good day, you're on to the radio. Okay, we would have missed that call there. Let me see some other messages coming from our people. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope that you made a full recovery from your illness. Yes, I'm a little better. I'm feeling strong, like as if I never had COVID-19. So I want to share my view on the proposed new Demerara Bridge. It's a proposal location at Nandi Park that I'm not pleased with. Now, I'm not suggesting that the bridge be landed at Houston around the Gildarie Park area. Why? Having it at Houston will profoundly ease the bottleneck on the East Bank Road. You're aware of this since you were using the roadway on a daily basis. So it's about that alone. It's about that new alone. But it's where to optimally benefit the ones plying the East Bank Road. And the fact is, a permanent structure doesn't have to stop the free flow of traffic to allow a marine traffic tank. Thank you very much. And yes, there are several things to talk about when you're building a bridge. If you had it around the Houston area, and this maybe we would probably have to have a talk about that. The Houston area there has exploded in growth in terms of what would have happened. There's several development even behind that Houston area there. You see, Gaffors would have gone behind, open up a way where, and they've always taken the lead of doing things that nobody wanted to do. They've gone to Houston in the original phase. I think they've gone to Magnoom now, and they put down a mall there, a hardware shopping mall, when everybody said they're crazy, and that was very successful. I think National Hardwares went not too long after to the license building, former license building there, and then all of the back there has been taken over now in the Houston area there by development plots of land, persons involved in the oil industry. So landing a bridge there might have been a good idea, but then you would have to look across the river and see what you would have been affected, what would have been the cost of moving what's already existing there. I know that there would have been studies done and so on. So it's something to think about if you would want to look in the long term what is happening with the Demerara River there. But I'm talking here without the benefit of having the experts in and what they would have been able to see based on information from studies and so on done. What are some of the areas? But that Nandi Park area, so I know that between the Princess and a couple of other places there, there's some open lands that's there that's going to take you right between some open lands that's going to take you right between the areas there. So it's interesting to see what is going to be developed there. But we could also hear from you what are some of your thoughts as to where that bridge is landing and what could be some of the problems. We're talking about the bottleneck, but I'm not sure if you abandon the current harbor bridge that you have there in the eventual year, which is a plan to maybe have as an alternative, or maybe dismantle it altogether, take it to a different area. What you're going to see is that the traffic come from over the river. If you're going down the airport, you're going to have the flyover taking you elsewhere. If you're going along the East Bank or to the East Coast, that is going to take you behind Providence there too. If you want to go to Georgetown, maybe it takes you back on the East Bank Road, the current one that's existing there, in some kind of way, a circular way or so. So that's an interesting thing that we'd have to look at. I think I have an idea what they want to do, but we'd have to have a discussion on when I see those designs. But it is something to have a discussion with regards to that East Bank new Demerara River crossing, because at the end of the day, it's going to affect so many things, and it's going to be a lot of money. I think in excess of $200 million US dollars. It's going to be the biggest on land infrastructure project that we would have had until such time that maybe any gas processing facility that Guyana brings. So it is going to be a massive, massive project. Do we have another caller in line? Good afternoon, caller. You on the air? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm on to Mr. Leonard Gildarie.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm calling from Rhymesec on the West Coast Demerara.
Rhymesec, yes.
Yes. They have a problem here. They have formed a CDC group in this village. The CDC group is not for pandemic. It's like for the community, like to build stuff, to do anything. Mm-hmm. And on the 22nd...
Is it what do you call it, Community Development Council?
Yes, something
so
like
that has nothing to do with Civil Defense Commission?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I think it's community-based groups. Yes, go right ahead.
Right? And they said on Tuesday they had a meeting, but they didn't invite nobody to the meeting. But a lady went there by the name of Leonard. Mm-hmm. Right? I think she at the West Demerara, the regional. And they didn't tell nobody. They formed their own group. They get their own set of people. Now they invite people to go yesterday evening to a meeting. When we go to the meeting, they already select their own people and asking we what we think about it. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to make people a fool. So when you vote for somebody, there's somebody have their family and they already vote for the other person. Mm-hmm. When you say, well, okay, fit that person in that person, the person that they pick, some of them didn't went there yesterday. So we said, okay, why don't you put that person, seeing that the other person didn't come? They said, no, that person already have their position. So they already knew what they were doing before they called us to the meeting. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that is fair.
Well, there's a way how you could deal with that. The Ministry of Local Government, they're the ones that is dealing with this at the moment, and I'm sure they won't want to start off on a bad footing in which you start off.
They are. Because we need a new representative in our village here. Because during the election time, everybody have to find transportation to go to campaign, to meeting. Mm-hmm. And these people that claim they are PPP, they hire a bus and with their family and the government pay for that. Mm-hmm. It is not fair.
I would suggest that you do this. If you were to ask me what is it that you need to do now, I think you all should get together a couple of the residents from the area there and write a letter, a joint letter, maybe a petition.
When you call the minister, you're always busy.
No, you don't have to call. You guys write a letter and you send it to him.
Anand, right?
It's not only Mr. Anand, there's another minister there, Niger Damlal as well, both of them.
Okay, and the minister within the minister.
Yes, so you could send it to both of them and just state what are some of the things you believe this thing is unconstitutional, undemocratic. That's one. And you ask in his intervention, and if you get a couple of residents there to probably put their signatures on it, and it's the more the merrier, because in grouping the strength, because you'd have not one resident complain, it's several.
It's several residents because nobody knows what's going on.
And I agree with you. So you have that option, and I would suggest that you explore that option.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, God bless you, and you too. So in the meantime, let's go back. Good day to you and the Kaieteur family. Allah has given you guys wisdom to report this news without any bias. Sir, Guyana should not be referred to as a banana republic. Ask the Chinese who have intention to occupy our country. We have far more resources and more places in the earth. Let's erase this mindset and take advantage of this new resource that Allah has given us to make this country not an oil kingdom. Our people are tired, broken, exhausted after 5 months of skullduggery by the last administration, coupled with COVID-19. Only God can help us through this pandemic because of our cavalier lifestyle. I pray for a government to deliver people out of bondage like what Solomon, King David, and Moses, I'm not sure which Moses he's talking about here, when they led their people to the promised land, inshallah. So there's something coming in. I hear you with that. Very good words there. Maybe just to try to be a little funny here. Which Moses is he talking about, Raj? I'm not sure. Raj has absolutely no idea. Hi, bro. Over the West Bank, it has lessons going on. We have $500 per subject, which is 2 hours. Why can't we do the same in school? Well, the funny thing about having lessons in school is that not only because of the health restrictions that you have there, but there's so many other things. Can the parents afford it? The bridge will be a flyover bridge over some house, and the land past the houses. We know it's a flyover, but we don't have an idea where it's going to take. We're going to have to see when the actual designs comes out, how it looks. It'll be interesting. And how if you want to use the East Bank Road coming from across the river, how it takes you back to the East Bank Road if you're coming across the river. I presume there's going to be a big circular roadway that's going to span both sides. It's going to be interesting to see how that looks. Maybe we're going to have a very futuristic bridge that looks out of this world. I'm hoping that we find the good contractors for that, because we have a habit of picking up contractors that are not so dependable. But I think this time the people are going to be ready. So any contractors that come, they would have to make sure that they fit the bill as one, they're qualified, and they're capable. We want people who are not about to screw us into any kind of paying out millions of dollars and then we're not getting something. Somebody would have to pay, some heads will roll. Land in Providence Block 3, there are many empty lots with tall bushes hanging over in people's yard. These owners are not building, neither cleaning the plot of land. Many have overgrown bushes in them. They should at least clean their land. I'm not sure, and I think when I can recall, when I got my land in Parfait there, before I got it, they tell me I gotta pay. They told me like Thursday I gotta find $500,000. My little salary couldn't even afford it. By 4 days I had to find that. When I actually got to the documents in which I said I'd have to start building within 6 months, and I don't understand why people's lands should be overgrown with bushes. I think this is something that the Central Housing and Planning, if you guys are following me, Central Housing and Planning Authority have to put down back their foot when you hold on to lands. It's not for you to speculate. People need lands. It's for you to build right away so you can move in. You didn't get the land because when you went to the ministry, you told the Ministry of Housing that I wanted the land so badly because I have nowhere else to go. That's what you would have said. And so the ministry would have taken your need into thing. It's not because of any other reason. It's because there was a need for you as a citizen to have a piece of land. So if you don't use the land, I mean, you lied. I'm not sure if I'm logical there, but that's how it goes. So you talk to the 40 to 50,000 persons who have application in, and I think they would agree. So these people need to really weed the lands. Leonard, some information related to Moses. Moses is the most important Jewish prophet. He traditionally credited with writing. I know who Moses is, but I was wondering whether they were talking to Moses in the Bible or Moses the politician. He's traditionally credited with writing the Torah and with leading the Israelites of Egypt across the Red Sea. In the book of Exodus, he's born during the time when the Pharaoh of Egypt has ordered every male Hebrew to be drowned. Good day to Mr. Derek Hawker, wherever you are, sir. Hi, sir. Really need someone to address the security company issues. They're really treating the workers terrible. No payers yet. Here, what we can do. All the security company that are treating the workers terrible, y'all text it and let me know. 622 62222. Send those names to us. Let's start, start investigating what is happening. Start reporting on these companies here. If you're going out and you open a security company, get an overdraft facility or enough money in the bank that if your payments come late, that you will be able to pay your workers. Your workers cannot be subsidizing or cannot be the ones that are going to be the collateral damage if you don't get paid. At least that's how it works. I don't understand. You open a company and you don't have floating cash. That's bad for business. So you guys send it to us and let's see what happens. Good day, Leonard. I live in Parfait Harmony. I have two neighbors playing the music and it's very disturbing. Someday you don't get to rest properly. Is there any advice that you give to me? No help from the police there. Yes, I could give you advice. There's a gentleman by the name of Errol Watts. He's a commander in Region 3. Very serious man. I've had run-ins with him, and he listens, and he says, I want to do my work. You call Mr. Errol Watts. You call him at his commanding area there. I think it's in Leonard. He has his headquarters there. Go visit him. Tell him that Mr. Gildarie spoke with you, and that you should he should listen to you. Let me see what else. Please don't forget us. We really need some help. I always ask, but I'm trying. I'm not giving up. Thank you very much. So yes, I would have heard a lot of people calling for help during this thing here, and there's so many things that we want to do. We're not sure how we're gonna get it done. Before we go back to the line, hi Leonard, good afternoon. We're not getting you in East Bobis. The people up in Borbis is complaining, and today I'm going to put all the blame at the feet of Raj. Raj, what is happening in Borbis there? Any word yet? So I think Raj says that the boys are working on it. Our apologies today. I'm missing Borbis today. So if you guys are in the car, I don't think you're going to get it in the car. You're going to get it on the Facebook and you're going to get it on the YouTube. So our guys up there are working hard to get it up and running. Before we go back to the lines again, good afternoon. My wife and I have already asked twice COVID help over the month ago. Now we are asking for the form to fill out, please. I'm going to have to send this. Let me see. I'm going to send it to this person. This is a COVID list. All right. Do we have another caller in line? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air?
Hi. Good afternoon, man.
Yes. How you doing?
I'm a resident from Falls here. Right?
From where?
Falls.
Falls on the East Coast. Yes.
Yes. Now we had election here for the CDC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now
CDC. CDC. This is the Community Development Council.
The Community Development.
Yes.
Now the point is this with me here now, that they told us that they were having election, right? Because they're supposed to have election. Now this election here now election, you know what is election, right? Everybody's supposed to come there. And, and then you select, right? And then you put your hands up and everybody pass a motion and everything like that. Not go wrong, right? You know what these people do? They go wrong and elect their own people, right? And then when it came Saturday there now at the meeting, then they started to talk that this one is the chairman, this one is the vice chairman, and this one.
So there was no elections or anything? They didn't say, look, we're not calling this meeting to order and our item.
No.
They didn't do that?
No. They just right wrong. They go wrong. There's people with a book. And when it came there Saturday, I was at the meeting there, right? And I sat down guys here thinking that they're going to elect people right from there. But what they did is to just call out names from the book and say, this one going to be the chairman, that one going to... That is not election. That is not election. Election, you're supposed to know election is what? People are supposed to object and all this kind of thing. If you don't want that person, you object and say no, put up your hand, and then you get majority and all this kind of thing, you know?
Yes, well, you just heard, I did speak, I did speak to somebody at Rhymesec in a very short while, same thing that they're complaining about. And
I heard about, that's why I'm saying they want from Rhymesec there or something like that.
Right, so I think I would advise you the same thing if
I know,
you feel...
I'm going to try to see if I get on to Nigel.
Yes, and I think you guys should write. I think I'm not sure that is what they... So I doubted very much that that is what they wanted. I think what they would have wanted was the democratic process to be followed to the T. In this particular cases, you can't have a couple of people just
No,
bypass. That's
people
not
come
how
from
it
Freedom
works.
House. People come from Freedom House, they sit down there, and just tell you all kind of nonsense and them
No,
things.
no, no.
Oh,
You.
we're gonna have an election. What is election? And then a man gonna stand up now with a book and say, oh, we have this one gonna be the chairman, that one gonna, and nobody and say nothing. I had to get up and walk off the thing. Now another thing, Len, you must give me a call back on them things. So, but the old lady even 97 years old.
Oh my.
She's only 97 years old already, and
I tried calling you back,
no,
and
I
somebody.
called you and you told me that I slept in with you when
I did, and when I called the person, said nobody's living there. I wrote it down. So call me back this afternoon. Call me about 3:30 or so.
Okay, then
Or
good.
or tell you what, call me about
Uh-huh.
5 o'clock. 5 o'clock
Good.
is a good time. Five
You
o'clock.
take care, man.
God
I
bless
don't
you.
understand this thing. People
Yeah.
must understand one thing. We're trying to do something, and if we want to do it voluntarily and everything, so let me do it the right way.
All right. Thank you very
See,
much.
when we have when we have election now for general election and all this kind, you don't see these people coming out and say that they're going to you and assisting you and go around here. We normally got to go there, and then you got shortened because what happened? There's big ones, you know. Yeah, there's big ones, you know, and oh, we can take this one because it's a big one, you know. You could assist in one this and there's nonsense going on in this place.
Yes. Thank you very much, dear
Thank
sir.
you very much.
God bless. So somebody, that's two complaints now with the CDC. Not good. Not good at all. That's not good for democracy. So if you guys are listening, you should write to the Minister of Local Government and this Niger Darmlal and Mr. Minister Anand Prasad as well, and let them look into that matter right away. Now, somebody complained about Parfait Harmony with regards to noise nuisance, and somebody very good would have sent us a number for Commander Errol Watts' office, and it's 268 2343 2343 268 2343. So if that person is listening, 268 2343, so you guys could probably call, and he is always willing to listen. Tell him that we give you the number. Sentinel Security Company is the one that punish people in Region 3. No pay 3 months now. People getting angry. No 3 months. They want to work. NDC not doing anything. Not sure what is happening. So I want to say good day to Armilla. She says she's always listening to Kaieteur, as well as Porley Lalbachan, Sorin, Corinne Prasad. How you guys doing? Asthma Bacchus, of course, every day listening to us. In the meantime, before we go back to the lines again, let's see some other. Can the private school get the internet problems fixed? Because we, if we continue, will report it to the relevant. I'm not sure what is happening here. Can't understand what that person typed there. No one telling us about the pay 3 months, no pay. Very angry with the Sentinel Security Service. A bunch of people tuned in on us and they complaining bitterly about not being paid. You guys got to get your act together with that. In the meantime, what is happening there with regards to payments for the 17,000 persons who would have invested to get back monies from the that company up the East Coast there. The persons were arrested for a multi-billion-dollar alleged fraud. The case is before the court, granted bail last week. So anybody knows, let me know. But in the meantime, let's go back to the callers. Do we have another call there, Reg? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Yes, hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, could you lower your volume on your radio, please?
Yeah. I got a complaint to make
Yes.
about GPL.
What happened with GPL?
One time they come, the 10th this month they came, me alone was home, and they come, two of them said they come to read my meter. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And me alone, and they're home, and I said, they knock at the door, and I'm a sick person. And when I come out, I see the two of them, and they said they want to see my meter, and I tell them, one of them was standing on my door, and I had my pension money. I had two rings under my mattress. When I look back, I didn't see the next person, but he got me longer, but 1.5 hours back looking at the meter. So when I look back, I didn't see the next person. Okay? So I asked him, is everything okay? He didn't ever answer me. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And they left and I gone. So I didn't check. When I go in my room to go back in my bed, I see my whole room tumble up and my wardrobe, everything
But
tumble up.
your door was open up at that time?
Yes, it's the same door I come out.
Uh-huh.
And my door there on the cattle walk.
Uh-huh.
That where the meter there at the back.
Uh-huh.
So you gotta come through the door, walk on the cattle walk, and go to the back to see the meter. Anyhow, the 22nd, at the left and I gone, by the time I go in my room, I holler, I for murder, I'm missing my ring, I 2 ring, I'm missing my 20,000 pension money, sir.
Oh my goodness. Did you report it to the police?
I actually, I can't because the police will tell me.
No, but did you so you don't go to the police and report it?
No, I didn't go, but here what happened, Tuesday we're gone now, is my wife's birthday, and my wife, I was in my bed, and next one come, and I push open my gate, and one set of people there downstairs cooking, and push open my gate, come straight in my house, again, one of them, and said, well, my daughter was in front of him, said, Daddy, GPL. I said, GPL, for what, they want come to rob me again? I said, okay. I said, you want to see one day. I said, I'm not allowing you to go in my house to see my meter again because two of them come and rob me the other day. And, okay, I said, if you really want to see one meter, go and bring a police and chain. Come back and then I will show you. Anyhow, he changed his keys and he said he will come back. And after now, I never see him back.
No, but you did wrong there. I'm going to tell you, you should have gone to the police. Now, what you did there now, it's an allegation that you're making because up to now, this thing happened. So the minute that thing happened there, you're supposed to go straight to the police. At least let it be a record there that you have a complaint. Now, GPL doesn't have a complaint. And then when the people then come back by you, you put yourself in a very awkward position there.
Yeah, I know that, sir. I know that.
You put yourself in a very awkward because I would have gone right away, even if the police didn't get anybody. But the mere fact that 2 people come, the police would have right away in their investigation as GPL. The 2 persons work in this area today, and in so doing, you would have been able to at least have an idea.
Yeah, but they have one mask. I could have recognized them because the first thing the police would ask if you recognize them. I can't recognize because the way they come with the mask on the face.
No. You gotta be in this day and age. I understand, but you see, when you get people coming into your place and they open up the gates and so, you gotta be very, very alert. Be very alert.
Yes, sir. I understand that.
So I don't know. I hear what you're saying. It's very unfortunate. But you erred there. You should have really make a report. So you know what you gotta do, right?
Okay, yes, I don't make a report because I know the sergeant good at the station.
Yes.
You okay? And I will make a report. But first thing, and ask if I know the person. I just said, no, I didn't know that.
But you got to be truthful. You can't lie if you can't remember. The mere fact that you recorded your complaint, because that would have given you an opportunity to also engage the Guyana Power and Light as well on this issue here. But you didn't do that. Now, you can't refuse them if they come back to read the meter because that's their job.
Okay.
So it's a little problem that you have there. All right, I hear you. Thank you very much, right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
God bless. Good. So it's the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio, and we're coming to you live from our Saffron Street studio, 99.1, 99.5. Is our 99.5 up and running yet? Rat says no, he's going to compensate all Barbicians after this. I'm not sure. What are you going to compensate them? Cook Indian food? Yes. He says yes. I'm not sure what you got to cook. You got to get a big big backyard there, but 5 different, what you call those big pots? I'm not sure what it is, but you can be cooking for like a fireside, about 5 fireside. It got to be, I forget this, what they call it for the Indian wedding. If anybody knows, y'all text it and put it there. But when you're cooking for the big thing in the back there with all the pots and the men cooking with a big long paddle and everything, there's a word to describe that. It's slipping me in the moment. But Raj is apologizing for not having any service in Berbice there with our antenna down at the moment. They're working hard to bring that up. So it's 6400 639 6400 639. NIS have been asking us about where they could make complaints. I did promise to get you a number. That is the number, 6400 639. And let me know how it works, because the general manager this morning. I spoke to the general manager of NIS, and she says, could you give them my number to call? I said, no, they can swamp you down, and then you can stop only looking after one, look after all of them. So she says, there's a person there who's taking calls on behalf here and complaints, and I am gonna. She did make a commitment to look into all these matters here. She says it's a special department that she has set up, and so this is a very good thing. I kind of like that. We're not sitting. So in the meantime, we have anyway about 20 minutes or so thereabout. Let's make it count. We're going to read a couple messages very quickly and then come back and hear from our good people of Guyana. I want to say good day to those folks overseas who've been with us, and are still with us over the last couple of months, and they're not going anywhere, not touching the dials. And we're coming to you also live on YouTube, Kaieteur radio live stream on YouTube. Hi, I'm not getting my mother NIS book as yet. You could please text me the number. Yes, the number is 6400-639. 6400-639, that you could really text or call them or something. I did send it out to that person there. If you guys are listening. In the meantime, let me see here what we have. Any other messages? Yes, we have some messages here. It's called a canary. No, that's not a canary. I think it's bandara. You know what's a bandara, yeah, Raj? Raj shakes his head. I think it's must be a Guyanese thing. Yes, bandara. Look, somebody got it, bandara. Got it right. You see? I know my Indian thing. Okay, good. They still want PPP work, but no pay. They still want people to work, but no pay. 3 months now, sir. We'll have to launch a peaceful protest to get paid. I think you guys should do that. In the meantime, we got to find out when we speak to the authorities about how they are regulating the operations of security companies. Not good enough. You guys have to treat our people a little better. It's not only the foreigners who are doing it, it's our locals that are doing it as well. We got to call a spade a spade. Let's not beat around the bush and, we bow down to everybody. We have to say that, we have our dignity, we have our rights. We have our rights as Guyanese people. About this company of the East Coast of them are accelerated capital fund. I heard only those who went to the police getting back the payment. There's a lot of people who was afraid, shame to go to the police. They will get back the money too. Can you shed some light on that? Please ask him for someone. Well, they've issued a statement without any big commitments. The company says they'll only be reimbursing people according to the contract. I'm not sure what the contract is. There's a matter before the court, so I got to be very, very careful here. But the company has become, if you believe that you've been robbed, you could go to the police and you could make your complaint there, and maybe they could investigate them again. I think there's several charges, 70 plus charges against Mr. Garcia Dominguez and his wife, Ms. Atika Ishmael there. And so they've been placed on several $1 million bail. So in the meantime, let's go back to the callers in a moment. Good afternoon, caller, you on the air.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Kaieteur, is it?
Yes, you are.
It's Gildarie.
Yes, it is. But lower your volume on your radio, please.
0855.
Hold on a minute, please.
Yes.
Oh, 135.
Hello. Yes, I hear you.
855.
1 second.
388. Okay, good. Tell you what, I think I'm hearing radio in this background. You hearing that too?
Yes, I'm hearing radio in it. Go right ahead. Oh, yes. Go ahead, sir. Hello? I think I would have lost that call. My apologies, dear. When you call in us, make sure that you turn on your volume on your radio, because it's sending us all kind of feedback here. In the meantime, it is. So this morning, several chairpersons of the various regions, until there's a caller back online. Yes, good afternoon, caller, you're here. Yes, good afternoon, caller, you're here.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I just called to find out concerning this grant what we getting. If family in a house, how we getting this grant? Each family getting or only one family?
The president has says it's going to every household. Every household. The president says it's going to go to every household. Every household mean a husband and a wife.
Yeah.
That's how I understand it.
Okay, so it go to every household. Okay.
Yes, it's not every house, every household. So if you got a son and a daughter, or you got 2 sons and 2 daughters, and their wives, they have their own household and that's it. But you, of course, not because you tell them that make they would buy it wholesale, they would have to verify.
Oh, okay. Oh, if they could verify it, I understand.
They are gonna have to verify it as part of the thing because we understand, we know what's gonna happen. A lot of people can try
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah. Because that's
a lot of people can try to crook the system, right? You know what's gonna happen. So
Definitely, definitely.
right,
So
right,
thanks.
right.
Thanks, that I'll find out. Okay.
God bless you. Good. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you. Keep up your good work.
Yes, thank you. So in the meantime, dear, let me see. Sebastian's, frontline workers should be the number one people out in the country with the pay up to date. Yes, I agree with you. And everybody who has been, everybody who's been suffering so much, the nurses who've been complaining, so they've been doing fantastic job, but you can't leave your patients just like that and go protest. There are ways how you could do that. You guys are critical. It's as if a doctor has walked away from his patient, or a lawyer would have walked out halfway during the court case or murder case trial, leaving his client high and dry. There's certain things you can do, and one of the people, or the set of people who can strike really, are the prison officers. I was told. I think policemen. I think also. I think nurses and firemen. I think those are some frontline workers who just can't just walk out the job or just go to have a strike because of they have some very important responsibilities. Imagine there's a fire that's happening and there's some protests that's going on and nobody's looking at it. That'd be craziness. So I think we're going to go back to our lines again. Yes, good afternoon, caller, you on the air. Yes, good afternoon, caller, you on the air.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Very good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This thing at the NDC, the CDC, right?
Uh-huh.
It is bad what they're doing because it's such a bad example.
Mm-hmm.
When you're having people, you should notify the residents of the area, telling them that you're having a meeting for selecting people for the area. You can't come and tell people, people call them names from a book. It's bad. It's a certain bad example.
You have another area that happened to?
This is the same thing the man called you and speak about.
Yes.
It is bad.
No, well, that's why I just said, y'all pick up a letter, let somebody write a letter, put all the residents who are upset with this thing.
Another thing, my brother, another thing. When they were picking people, the chairman for the area, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did not notify the people to pick that chairman to represent that area. They pick the people and then come and call a meeting.
That's how it's supposed to happen.
These things have to be changed. I am asking the government to change these things in position. Let the residents choose the people they want to represent them.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a right way.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, they don't blame the government, they blame them, they blame the people themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because they choose for themselves.
I agree with you. You cannot be running things like that. That's not how the democratic societies work, and especially, I think a couple of people went rogue. You agree? If a couple of people probably went rogue and decided they want to do things their own way, I don't think.
No, it's wrong. It's wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Because I'm telling you, President, now they pick some people, and they have the big trucks. Going to damage the player. Who can go and tell them something? I can't go and tell them something because they have the position they would fight against me.
Right.
You understand?
Uh-huh.
So I doubt if the government could get into this and come and help us out. We want a minister. Come and reach us and let us know what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you.
Have a good day.
Yes, you too. So that person there is calling, complaining again about the community development councils, and this is separate from the RDCs, the regional democratic councils, in which several chairpersons would have been sworn in this morning, and they're saying those elections are not going so well. So let's see what happens. Well, let me tell you a couple of names that would have come up this morning so far that were sworn in as the regional chairpersons, and these people are the powerful chairpersons for the various regions. 10 regions Guyana has. And so what you have there is Deron Adams, Region 10. He's a chairperson there. David Armagon has gone back as chairperson for Region 6, which is the East Bobis area there. Region 10 is Linden and that whole area there. Upper Burbis, Kwakwani, that whole area there. So Region 6, David Armagon has gone back, which is the East Bobis, Quarantine, that whole area there. Across the river there. Daniel Siram, which is a former captain of the army, came out as a candidate for the coalition in the recent elections. He is now the chairperson for Region 4. Brian Alicock for Region 9. Region 4, is in Demerara, Mahika area there. Brian Alicock, and this is for the Rupununi area that borders with Brazil. And so he's gone back there. He was a former chairperson there as well. And of course, we had persons from Berbice complaining this morning about not getting gold. They're saying there's a shortage of gold up in that area there. So in the meantime, before we go back to the lines, very quickly, we got a couple of minutes. We want to push in a couple of those. Raj, do we have any more callers coming through there? Good afternoon, caller, you on the air?
Kaieteur, is it?
Yes, you on the air, Kaieteur Radio.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I just want to know yes. If, hello?
Yes, go ahead. You in the air. Go right
I
ahead.
just want to know if the $25,000 that the government giving out, if they coming to your house to house, is
They are gonna, I think this week here. This is a week. They made an announcement over this weekend that they are gonna make those disclosures or the announcements this week here with regards to how it's all gonna happen.
Okay, thank
So
you very
guess I think you all should set yourself. Maybe it's the president or maybe it's the Ministry of Human Services. I'm not sure who's gonna be doing it, but that's a major announcement for the government, and it says this week they're gonna do that. They're gonna tell.
Because I live in South Jackson and we never get no hamper in South, nothing ever come to here, and you never get nothing here.
Yes, yes. So I think set yourself up. This week here is when they said within the next couple of days they are gonna make maybe as early as today. I'm not sure, but we waiting. This says this week is where it's gonna happen.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So in the meantime, this week coming down to winding down, we have about 10 minutes more before we say goodbye to our people. Hi, Mr. Gildarie, pension really need of help with the voucher. Yes, the government is gonna is not with vouchers you're talking about. Is it the voucher with the hampers or is it the 25,000 with the thing? And so we got to be very careful. If it is with the voucher for the food hamper voucher, I think it is. You guys have to apply by the the CDC. I think the CDC is where you have to apply, and so let me see if I can get in of that. I think it's 226. I'm gonna get it back. I'm gonna get it back for you guys. So we could go back to the line again. It's 226-7453. Good afternoon, caller. You in the air?
This is Leonard.
It is. Yes, it is.
Hi, Leonard.
Yes, it is.
Hi, Leonard. I just called in. Yesterday I heard Jill say that these people with this the great vouchers, right? It started sharing since yesterday in regions 1 and 9. And he said it's going to come home at the people's house. They'll come and give them. They have to come to see how many people in the house and how many families in the house. So if they listen to the ministers, they won't go to calling and bothering you every minute.
No, but you see, a lot of people are not getting access to the information. Even myself was a little thing because some of this information that's coming out is not coming out in a national way. You're seeing something popping up here, popping up there. So it's not going with the way that people are. Not everybody is tuned in, on Facebook and whatever else it is and have it.
Yeah,
we got to understand. People are
I
worried.
heard him say that, right?
Yes.
That they will come because, as you say, they might have more than one family in a house. So they will come to see that. There is really more than one family in one house. That is one. He mentioned with the school money for the children. He will know how many children. They will know how many children because from the register at the schools.
It's 180 something thousand, I think, children.
Yeah.
I think that it's 180 something thousand. At least that is what I was told by the Ministry of Education.
But then they say they can check it on the school register.
Yes.
Because if a child going to school, it has to be registered with the school, right?
Right. So there's several things. I think you're right. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. There's several things happening. You're going to have the $25,000 cash grant to every family.
Yeah.
You're going to have every student getting a 15,000. I think maybe it's next year. That's where
Yes, I think I probably must see January when school going to start.
Right, and then you also getting $4,000 per
For
child
the uniform.
for uniform. And then there's also a hamper.
Well, the hampers is really people who really
Right.
in need.
Right.
It's not everybody getting though.
Right.
It's just the people who is in need that be getting that.
Right.
Good. There is one thing coming, with that, because I listen to your program every day.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
every day I hear people calling and asking the same thing about this money.
Now, a
and
lot of
thing.
people not sure. Remember this desperation time for a lot of people. So any help that you could get. I understand the people. You see, with me don't quarrel. It's because I understand.
But they're not asking me, and I'm getting frustrated with the asking
No, I know.
you.
I understand the people, man. I
Another
understand.
thing too, with these guard service, I know for sure. I had a friend that used to work at a guard service, and he was in charge of the guards. And if there's a girl and he like the girl and she don't want to have any relationship with him, he used to put she at some real desolate areas.
We heard those stories. We did hear those stories.
You know? So, these people not doing guard work because they feel like doing guard work. It's because they need the money or the whatever their families to mind. And she might got her husband or her boyfriend and he want to have sex with her. So if she ain't give it, he putting she in these lonely areas.
No, we heard stories like that. I think there was one story, I can't remember, a couple of years back, in which a guard, a supervisor, was caught in a compromising position, taking advantage of a female guard. But these are not stories that I think. But yes, it's a very serious thing, though. You shouldn't.
And with the money story, they're not paying the guards. I know that's true too. That's true too. But you can't wait. If you can start a business, you have to have a year money put aside.
Aye, right.
So that you can, if anything happen, you have that money that you can go into. People want to start business, Leonard, and they ain't got no idea about business.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? I had a snacket, and I know that you have to have a year money put aside for rent and staff paying and groceries and everything. Because no business don't run right away. It take a year, actually, before it gets off its foot.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
I
I hear what you're saying there. I think we have to bring it down to a thing here now. So thank you very much, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Bye. Next
Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Yes.
Good.
So thank you
Right.
very much, dear.
Bye-bye.
I think we'd have to bring the program to a close now, and I want to say thank you. It has been a very, well, I don't know what happened. We have
you
some.
know what's wrong with your program is just anyway. I'll be come up for you tomorrow.
Yes,
Bye.
I'm a little diverted my attention there. Somebody's knocking on the door as well. So I want to say thank you very much for joining us, and goodbye, and thank you very much for giving us those tips there as well, ma'am.
Okay then. Bye-bye.
God bless.
Right.
So it has been a pleasure joining you on this Wake Up Guyana show. We're going to make sure that our antenna is up in Berbice in the 99.5 there. If you've missed it, a couple of people, I know a lot of people would have been joining us there. I want to say good day to the folks down in Esquib as well, in Demerara, wherever you would have been joining us from, all the way. I know Ken is there, somewhere in Europe, and all the rest of the folks, at Coven, John, and the rest of the places there. So good day to you, and make sure that you take care of yourself. And until we back with you tomorrow, same place, same time, I'm your host, Leonard Gildarie. This has been your edition of the Wake Up Guyana show, and I hope that we've wakened you up today to smell the coffee about what you're entitled to as a citizen of this country. God bless. Bye-bye.